Do you know ball?
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 Do you know ball? Episode 38, everyone's favorite number. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Hope you guys are having a fantastic day today or night, whenever you're watching this. Doesn't matter. Thanksgiving's coming up. So Thanksgiving equals football. So we brought the best football person that we know, and there's not many of them. So this isn't really saying much for this person, but he's here and he's going to give us some great insight onto some of these topics that we're going to be talking about today. Introducing the one and truly the only Jonathan Stevens. What's up, Johnny? How you doing?
What's going on, fellas? How are we doing?
Doing good. Doing good today. How about you, Zach? How you doing?
I'm doing great. I'm doing great. I can't wait to get into these topics. And Johnny, we got some questions for you based on football. So really,
Yes.
really looking forward to seeing what your responses are.
Yeah.
Yeah,
All right. So you ready for the first topic, I guess then?
let's go.
Let's
Let's
do
get
it.
it on.
Johnny is a how do I put this? He's like him and Zach, they have some great sports takes. But great in air quotes. So I really hope you guys enjoy this pod today. He is a Giants fan, so we're gonna get right into the first topic. The Giants have officially released Daniel Jones, the end of an era. Danny Dimes is no longer a New York Giant. Jonathan, longtime Giants fan. I'm sorry, truly am. What is your thoughts on this, man? Give us your take
Well, I
on
mean, there's
this.
no need to be sorry about anything. I don't think anybody that's a fan of the Giants is sad to see him leave the team. Like,
Well, no, I'm just sorry that you're a
truthfully.
Giants fan, not because
Oh,
Daniel
okay.
Jones is
Well, all
gone.
right, cool. Well, okay.
I,
Anyway, hmm yeah. Anyway, Daniel Jones, I'm not sad to see him go. I really don't care. He played terrible. He's been terrible. I never, ever once in my life thought this is the guy that's going to take us to the Super Bowl. Some people maybe did. Some people said I like Daniel Jones. I don't know why. He never was really good. He had that one good year, and then he fooled us into thinking, that something's going to turn around. And we gave him a big contract, and it went to nothing. So I'm not happy to see him leave. I'm happy to see him leave. So that's all I really have to say. He's been the quarterback of the team since I've been in the seventh grade. Enough is enough. It's time to go.
Yeah, the buildup has really been just coming along, strolling along, and something bad was gonna happen when they benched him and they took his starting role away from him. So you knew from there the wheels were coming off the wagon, and then just they ultimately made the decision to just part ways with each other, and the Giants released Daniel Jones, and it's been a long time coming. This guy's been terrible for a long time now, and it's not sad to see him go, but I think Giants fans are honestly really happy, including you, Johnny. Like you just said, you're really happy to see this guy move on to greener pastures and just you know, play for a different team. Maybe playing for a different team will do him some good. Don't you think, Johnny?
I highly doubt it, but sure. I don't know who's going to pick him up, but
Some team should pick him up. I don't know who
I
that
can't
team
see
will
who will.
be, but I definitely someone's gonna take a flyer on him.
what
Someone.
team what team you think? What team you thinking?
I just said I don't know who would be, but like I'm sure he's gonna get picked up. Why? Do
Interesting.
you have a specific team in
No,
mind?
I don't. I'm just curious.
Yeah, no, I don't have a specific team in mind who would need a Daniel Jones on their squad, but
I mean, yeah,
I'm
who
sure
who
No one
someone.
needs
needs
yeah, who needs a
Yeah,
no one
Daniel
needs
Jones on
him.
their squad? Yeah.
yeah, maybe they want to slot him as a backup QB or just to have him in their pockets. Who knows? But like, I'm sure there's a team out there that's going to pick him up eventually. But Deej, what's your thoughts on Giants releasing Daniel Jones?
Yeah, I think it's a long time coming. There was a lot of controversy when they drafted him originally with, I believe it was the fifth pick. There was just, right, Jonathan, correct me? Fifth pick,
Yeah,
correct?
around there.
Yeah, it was like fifth or sixth pick. I'm pretty sure it was fifth pick. There's a lot of controversy around it, and now the era is officially over. I remember when the Giants got that one playoff win against the Vikings, and everyone thought Daniel Jones was like he was getting a lot of love, and he was kind of loved at a certain point, but then, you know, reality kind of hits you and you kind of get sent back down to earth. So I think this is best for both parties that Daniel Jones and the Giants split. Whether Daniel Jones will find his way on an NFL roster at some point again, that's a question for another time. But you can't help but feel for him because you can see it has clearly affected him mentally. But who knows what is next for Daniel Jones? But Giants fans, you'll be getting a new quarterback next year. Johnny, anyone you want at quarterback? Aaron Rodgers, maybe?
No.
No.
Big fan of Jalen Milroe out of Alabama. Uh, also like Cam Ward out of U Miami. Arch Manning out of Texas. Uh, he looks pretty. A lot of Giants fans want him just simply because his last name is Manning, but he's also very good. But yeah, I think we still need a lot of work to do just getting a quarterback. We still need to patch up the O line after doing wasting a bunch of years drafting O line. It just doesn't fix itself. But yeah, I truly think that the quarterback is one of the few things we need, and we'll start playing a lot better. Obviously, we just got Malik Neighbors, who already has blossomed already. You can see, especially the first 5 weeks, he just went crazy. Then he got a concussion, and but yeah, I think we're a few more pieces away from being a lot better, a winning team. Finally, have some winning records. I love Dable, great coach. It's not his fault that he's in this mess right now, but I believe I like him, and yeah,
So
Yes.
what's next? What's next for the Giants then? Just in
draft
general.
draft a quarterback.
Mhm. Okay.
They're gonna probably ride out the veto where Lock. I'm sure they'll start Lock. You know, there's no reason not to. See what they look like. But I still believe no matter how well they play, we're probably still gonna draft a quarterback.
Okay, so I think we covered all the bases with Daniel Jones. Let's move strictly on to the next topic, which is the Bills shock the world and snap the Chiefs' undefeated run. Now,
I'm
I
so
can't
shocked.
say I can't say well, it's they sort of did. I mean, like the run that the Chiefs were on. Did you expect the
Well,
Chiefs
I
to
mean,
lose
some of
eventually?
those wins they barely won. It's not like it's a really weird 9-0. They're a 9-0 of like they barely beat the Ravens, they barely beat the Bengals, and there's another team where they barely beat. I forgot, but I Mahomes, believe it or not, is having a down year. Uh, as is Kelsey. He has been playing a lot better, but I don't think they shocked the world. The Bills are a really good team.
No, so are the Chiefs, man. I mean, I didn't again, I agree with what you said. I mean, I didn't expect the Chiefs to go 9-0 though. Like I fully coming into this year, I did not expect them to be undefeated. I knew they were obviously going to be playoff contenders and looking to win another Super Bowl in that sort of position, but I didn't expect them to go 9-0 to start the year. So the fact that they did, I feel like regardless of how close each win was a decent accomplishment for them. Deej, what's your opinions on the Chiefs getting their undefeated streak snapped?
I mean, I wouldn't necessarily say it shocked the world as well. It is a really weird 9-0 because there were a couple games where they like won like off like the skin of their teeth, really. Like there was the one against the Broncos. I think it was the
Yeah,
Broncos, right, where they like
that's what I
Yeah.
was
blocked
talking about.
they blocked the field goal at like the last second. So there were a couple like really close wins. So it is kind of a weird 9-0. Um, Josh Allen's been great this year. The Bills have been great. Did
MVP.
yeah, did I expect the Chiefs to lose the game? Honestly, no. I just thought like, yo, they're just gonna win the Super Bowl. They're just insane. So was I a little surprised that they lost? Sure, but I wouldn't say they shocked the world. I mean, because the Bills are just great and Josh Allen, he's great. He's got Haley Steinfeld in his back pocket now, so that kind of helps him a little bit.
Yeah, the Bills are a good team, and usually always Bills and Chiefs is always a really good football game to watch. But yeah, no, it's crazy to think that they were like 9-0, and they're still gonna have a really great record by the end of the season.
Yeah,
Who
potentially
knows
go to the
how
Super
far they
Bowl.
will go? Do you
Pretty
think
far.
they're gonna make the
Oh
the
yeah.
Super Bowl again?
Oh my gosh. Yes.
The Chiefs,
James
yeah.
Cook's playing the best football of his
Oh, you
life.
think you think the Bills? Think the Bills are making the
Oh
Super
yeah,
Bowl? Okay.
Oh, I
James
thought you were talking
Cook's
about the Chiefs
playing
for a
I
the
second.
thought you were
best
talking about the
football of his
Chiefs.
life. They did a smart thing and they went and got Amari Cooper, who really like is
Cowboys legend.
overlooked and no one really appreciates really people forgot about him when he went to the Browns. So now I really think the Bills are set up to make uh a really good playoff run, especially with the way Josh Allen's been playing. He's been incredible.
Cowboys
What
did him
about the
dirty.
Chiefs?
The
What about
Chiefs
the
are the
Chiefs?
Chiefs. They're the same team that they were last year. They're going to be good, but I don't know.
When does Pacheco come back? My fellow Rutgers
Soon,
alum comes back soon.
I believe next week or the week after that.
Okay. That's my
Okay, so
goat.
they
Love
got a weapon
Pacheco.
coming back. Um, I don't know. The Chiefs are going to be in a good spot regardless of what happens.
Yes,
I think,
that is true.
yeah, they're going to be in a good spot regardless. And the Bills are definitely itching for a Super Bowl opportunity. Um, they definitely want to get there, want to get to the mountaintop, just like Mahomes did. So, um, yeah, there's a lot of teams in the NFL that are just really eager to get to that spot. So, I don't know how the Chiefs will do in the playoffs. They're probably going to make another deep run, like as per usual. But I think a lot of people are going to be trying to root against them and just they want to see them fall. They want to see the empire fall. Um, we'll see what happens with them and the Bills. But yeah, we're moving swiftly along. Let's just hop right into the MLB award winners. I have
I see what you did there. Move swiftly, like Taylor Swift. That was smart.
yeah.
You definitely did not intend to do that, so I'm not going to give you credit for it.
No,
But
I intended to do that.
let's yeah, I knew it. Next topic.
Okay. So the MLB award winners, everybody has gotten their awards. All the decisions are out there. Just I have a problem with one of them. We'll get into that. But one starting off with MVP awards. Obviously, Judge won the MVP for the AL and Otani won for the NL. Those are two of the obvious ones. Cy Young awards, Skubal for the AL and Sale for the NL. Those are two of the obvious choices as well. Rookie of the Year, Paul Skeens for the NL. AL was Luis Heel, and then Manager of the Year. Everybody, I think, was spot on, including AL Manager of the Year, who went to Stephen Vogt. Um, but the one tiny issue I have with the awards that went out was the Manager of the Year for the NL. Now, just to put it out there, Pat Murphy, very well candidate, very good candidate. I think he deserves it a little bit, but I gotta put my boy Mendy out there a little more than he was. He finished third in the voting, so I guess it wasn't really close. But I still have a problem with it. Like I feel like Mendy's being overlooked a little bit. Now you guys could disagree, and that's fine. You guys could battle me on it, and that's fine. But Mendy had a team. Carlos Mendoza had a team that was 0-5 to start the year. Now I granted it was the first week of the season. You can't really judge a season by 5 games. But also later on in the year, they were 11 games under 500 and seemingly out of it. Now, he was not playing for the team, but he had a very big impact on the squad that pushed them in the right direction to get back on track. They had their players meeting. Um, and they really just gelled together and nobody in the world could have expected the Mets to make the run that they did. Nobody expected them to make the playoffs, let alone make the NLCS, let alone make game 6 of the NLCS. So I feel like Mendy deserves a little more love than he's been getting or that he got. I don't think third is really wild to me. Um especially you guys Padres, Mike Schilt, he came in second. And then, oh shit. Oopsie. Padres, Mike Schilt came in second. And then obviously Pat Murphy won. But I don't know. I think it's honestly crazy that how Mendoza was third and just man, it just doesn't sit right with me because he had such a terrific year. It was also his first year as the Mets manager to take him
Pat,
that
yeah,
far.
this is Pat Murphy's first year as the.
Okay, but like we beat Pat Murphy too.
Yeah,
So
well, the great thing about Manager of the Year is that it's not a postseason award. It only counts for regular seasons. That's the
well,
best part about it.
regardless, I think Mendy deserves a little more love because
All right. Mhm.
nobody expected the Mets to make it to the playoffs, let alone.
Sure.
So if we're looking at that, we're looking at where they were, 11 games under 500. That's what I'm looking at. And he took that team and he turned it into a diamond and pushed them forward to go into the playoffs.
All right,
So
my question for you though is like, how's just not Mets bias? Because if this was any other team, not the Mets, I don't think he would care. So how is this
I
not Mets
I would
bias?
I don't think it's Mets bias. I just think he deserves a little more love.
I mean,
If
he got top three in Manager of the Year. That's seems like a lot of love to me.
Yeah, but like again, like over these guys, over the Padres manager, over Pat Murphy. I mean, like I just don't. I feel like he should just been up there a little bit more, and I
I
talked about a little bit more than he was.
I think that's
I
fair.
I
I
just
think more of the Mets' success was towards Lindor taking off, and also
I agree with
Vientos,
that too. Yeah.
and
I don't know.
also Vientos coming out and shining as a star. Those are two
sure,
bats that
sure.
completely changed the
Let
lineup.
let's compare the situations between the Brewers, for example, and the Mets, right? The Brewers really didn't have too many expectations, right? The Central was wide open, and and they lose their best pitcher. They lost Corbin Burns, and they also have like a third of the payroll of the Mets and the Padres. So for Pat Murphy to do what he did, along with let's say Christian Yelich also being hurt, which is their best player, if you want to say, for him to do what he did, he honestly deserves it. And honest to God, and no disrespect to Mendoza because he was a former Yankee. So no disrespect to him. And I'm not even trying to push your buttons because you're a Mets fan. I just think you're showing a little bit of some Mets bias. And the fact that Mendoza, got third, right? I think that also kind of shows that a lot of people have the same mindset. Like, yeah, okay, this is the right thing to do. If he got second and you're saying he was robbed, I could maybe somewhat understand, but no, Mendoza got third. And that's just kind of how it is. And I think I was trying to tell you last week, I think Pat Murphy was going to win it, and he did. And to me, it wasn't a surprise. I think the all the award voters, I think, is pretty spot on. I don't think anyone got robbed. Yeah, I think it's pretty good.
I just still have a little bit of an issue with this. Just and I guess you're right when you say it's Mets bias, but like I just look at back at the team that we had this year and like you could argue the same thing, the same expectations set on the Mets at the start of the season just as the Brewers. We both really didn't have much. We both didn't really have much. Mets didn't have their ace. Mets didn't have Senga all year. Mets didn't have a ace all year long. Didn't have an ace. They also didn't really have a bullpen besides Edwin Diaz. And also, we didn't make any additions to the team that were really, really impactful. Neither did the Brewers. So this is what I'm just trying to say to you that it's like it's very comparable because the expectations set on the Mets was not very high. And in fact, a lot of the members of the Mets organization, including David Stearns, said that they're going to try to be competitive, but pretty much this year is a year to see what you have.
But you compare the rosters, and on paper, I'm pretty sure you would confidently say that the Mets would have a better roster.
By
So
far.
by that degree, the Brewers had a
By
much better
far. Why are you
season.
shaking your
Not
head?
not counting the postseason because this is a regular season award. The regular season wise, the Brewers had a better regular season than the Mets.
Yeah, well, I don't know. I still don't necessarily agree too much with the award for that. I think Mendoza honestly should have won because of where the team was at and what the team needed to do to make it into the playoffs. Regardless if the Brewers won the division, I don't care or where they were. I don't care.
Look, I just think as maybe as surprising as a year as the Mets maybe had, I just don't think you can give it. Granted, everything I said as well, keep that in mind, but Mets were also third in their division. I just don't think that's really deserving of manager of the year to me. I would personally maybe the Braves manager. Maybe like they went through so many injuries and they had to fill so many voids and they still finished higher than the Mets and he didn't get any recognition. Where's my love? Where's my love? But whatever.
And well,
It's
Brian Snicker didn't really. I don't know. I don't know. I guess I could see that too, but like I don't know. I feel like it's just two different situations. And in Brian Snicker, I mean, like obviously the Braves went through so many injuries, countless superstars, Austin Riley, Acuna. You got
Strider.
multiple. Yeah, Strider. Strider was another big one. I think Max Fried has hit his stints on the IL too.
yeah, he always does.
It was a lot of injuries for them, and yeah, they struggled because of it, and maybe they didn't place as high because of it too. They definitely didn't. But I don't know. I just feel like there's certain situations like again, if if you look back on that Braves team too, if they had a fully healthy roster, I mean like the season would have probably been like completely different because you think about the year that Ozuna had, and that's an outstanding year for him, and nobody expected that from him in this year in 2024. So if you paired that with Acuna's potential year, and like if Ozzy Albies had a full year without going on the IL, and Strider being okay, and Austin Riley being okay, like yeah, I don't know, maybe they could have done a lot better than they did, but. I don't know, different situations. I just think again going back to manager of the year and all the awards were pretty much spot on. I don't know. I know the manager of the year doesn't sit right with me, and I guess that is right because of Mets bias.
Absolutely.
But yeah, no, it's the only one it just doesn't sit right with me, like I said. But Matt, if you want to lead us into our next topic, you can.
Yeah, I just want before we Jonathan, what are your thoughts on the manager of the year situation, man? We didn't
I
really get
mean,
to hear you.
I kind of said the Brewers is fine. Like I'm not really looking to. I don't really care much about the manager here, to be honest. It is what it is. I kind of agree more with you about the Mets had a completely better team around them, especially and Brewers don't. So it's not. It
Brewers
makes
had a lot
sense
of
why. It
unexpected
makes sense
stars,
why he
though.
won.
Brewers had a lot of unexpected
So did
stars
the Mets.
rise to
No
the
one thought
occasion.
Vientos
Rise to
was
the
going to
occasion.
become great.
Bryce Terang was a demon for him, and in the postseason too. I know it's not a postseason award, but I feel like he should definitely get a little more love. I like Bryce Terang. I liked his game. He was a demon in the postseason though, too. A topic for a whole nother day. That's not even related to manager of the year. But yeah, no, it's a rough situation again. Doesn't sit right with me, but.
Not really. It's not really a rough situation. I think it was handled pretty
Yeah, it's
solidly.
not. Yeah,
Again, what I believe in my heart is not who got the NL Manager of the Year. Like who I believe deserves it is obviously Mendoza, but not nobody else in the world really feels that way. So I
Well,
guess you're right when you say Mets biased. So,
yeah, 100%.
but go ahead, lead us into the next topic. This topic is actually like
thank God.
sort of like just happened yesterday. Just happened yesterday. So. Matt, lead us into our next topic.
Yes, absolutely. Next topic of the day, more baseball talk. The Reds and Royals have agreed to swap Brady Singer and Jonathan India. What are your guys' thoughts on the trade? I honestly like this for the Royals more than the Reds. I don't think Brady Singer is as good as people are projecting him to be, or maybe as good as the Reds think he's gonna be. I really like India. I mean, as a Yankees fan, that was a projected rumor, so I'm kind of familiar with his game. I scouted him for a while. I think this is going to help the Royals a lot, especially because they gotta kind of have to build somewhat with a budget. I know they're also in rumors for a Alex Bregman potentially this offseason. So if you can have an infield of Bregman, Bobby Witt, India, and then Pasquantino, and then Salvi behind the plate, that's a really fun team, and they can make some noise in the AL Central and even make some noise in the postseason. They gave the Yankees some trouble. They beat the Orioles. So if you can add India, well, they already added India. You insert India into that lineup and that already pretty solid infield. That's a very fun team, and they just got to work on some power bats in the outfield, maybe add a couple arms or two. And I think that the Royals are going to be a very fun, sneaky team. And like I said, for the Reds' perspective, I don't know. I don't really like it for the Reds. I do like the Royals win for India. So you guys go ahead. Speaketh.
I
Uh,
agree.
yeah.
Uh, I don't know where he'll hit in the lineup, but obviously, if he hits in front of Bobby Witt, he'll probably see a lot better pitches.
He could be lead
You
off.
know, yeah. So he'll probably, I think he'll have a much better year than he's had in past years. Definitely think if they go that route and get Bregman, that'll be a very fun infield, very solid team. Uh, yeah, all I got.
Yeah, no. I do like this move for the Royals. I think this was a pretty solid move for them. And it definitely opens up a lot of windows, like you said, Matt. They're in the running for Bregman, and that, like you said, that lineup, that infield would be fantastic to see play and to see mesh together. They do need to work on the outfield a little bit more, but I do like this move a lot for the Royals. I mean, but the Reds. Brady Singer's a solid pitcher. You can't knock the Reds on this. I mean, I don't know if I would have gone the Jonathan India route with this trade with them. But I don't know. India's been rumored in trade talks for the Reds for years now, and I mean, it was just about time that it just finally happened, and it finally happened last night. So. I think India's gonna be nicely fit in Kansas City. And it's gonna be fun to see this Kansas City team in the future. Like they have they have a really young team, and that kind of showed in the playoffs. But they beat the Orioles, which I was not expecting. I was expecting the Orioles to steamroll the Royals, but that didn't happen, and the Royals moved on, and gave the Yankees a little bit of trouble. But you know, I don't know. I like this move. I like this move for the Royals. I see them having a pretty bright future. A pretty bright future.
Analysis, yeah. Johnny, anything else?
No,
Oh, okay. Straight to the point. Okay, cool. Now, we're gonna talk about Johnny's favorite topic. The New York Yankees. Jonathan, you ready? Because I'm gonna like interview you here. Zach has
let's
no
go.
part in this segment, thank God.
Go
Okay.
ahead.
So, whoa, why do you look offended?
Whoa!
Are you a
Why do I
Yankee?
What?
not have any part in this segment?
Are you a Yankee fan?
Well, no, but
Okay,
the
so
person you're talking about, it directly affects me a little bit too right now.
well, good thing that this is regarding Juan Soto and the Yankees, not Juan
Okay,
Soto and
continue,
all the other
continue. Go
teams. No,
ahead.
no, I'm just
No, no, go ahead. Go ahead.
not everything's about you, Zach. I just want you to
Okay.
know that.
Okay.
I
Sure.
just want you to know
Okay,
that.
go ahead. No, go ahead.
Jonathan, look excited.
I'm excited.
Okay. All right, I'm going to ask you some questions about Juan Soto. Okay, so you are a Yankee fan, correct?
Correct.
Okay, don't sound so excited.
Correct.
Thank you. Don't raise your voice. Juan Soto and the New York Yankees have they met. They want the Juan Soto and the Yankees. They met for a meeting, and basically all the rumors or all the news that came out was that Hal Steinbrenner promised Soto that other additions would be made to the team in addition to him. In addition to him. So did you
Completely.
do you know the reports that I'm referring to?
I didn't hear them, but
But do you know what I'm like
yes,
referring to? Okay,
yes.
cool. So I want to ask your questions. What what additions do you think Hal
Oh
Steinbrenner
boy.
is alluding to?
Christian Walker, definitely.
Okay, that's
That's
what I was
got to be.
thinking. I feel like that's a no-brainer for the Yankees.
If that's not it, if that doesn't happen, potentially Pete. I mean, why not?
Zach shaking his head. Zach, why not?
Because it's just not happening.
Why
That's
not?
just not happening. I mean, it's very much so a possibility, but I don't think that the Yankees are gonna give Pete the money that the Mets will.
I agree. I think the Mets are going to stupidly overpay for Pete Alonso, but I don't think there is a world at all where the Mets get both Soto and Pete. And I could be totally wrong, and we can look back on this if I'm wrong, and you can laugh at me. But that's my sport management perspective thinking. I don't see that happening, especially because that's kind of not why they brought David Stearns in. I
Well,
think David Stearns is not more David Stearns is not more of like a let's spend all the money type of guy. He's more of like a let's make subtle things and build a sustainable winner for the next couple of years, as opposed to an all-in type of guy. So that's why I just don't think it would make too much sense from the Mets perspective. And yes, Steve Cohen is like money bags, but he has yet to make one huge impactful free agent signing. So I don't know
huge.
where I stand. Mhm.
Wait.
I said impactful
Huge impactful signing.
free agent. Yeah, free agent. I
Are
said free
you,
agent.
if you're talking about this year
I said
or
free agent.
just in total?
I said free agent signing.
Okay. Okay.
I said free agent signing.
Just want to make sure I hear it right. Just want to make sure I hear it right.
You heard it right.
Okay.
And you can make me look stupid,
No,
but
I was gonna, and then you said free agent signing, and then it clicked in. But go ahead. No,
yeah,
continue.
you can
Continue.
rewind the tapes. I did say free agent signing.
Yeah, you did. You did. You
I
did.
did. I
But I
did.
would have blown up on you if you said something
Oh,
else.
you could blow up on me because I'm just gonna,
No, no, no,
I know my stuff.
no. Continue with the
Well,
Yankees talk. Continue.
I kind of can't because my oh there it is. Okay, cool. Sorry, I was in the middle of interviewing my person and he just left. There he
Sorry,
is.
my bad.
Damn, that's quite the interview start right there.
My bad.
All right. So Christian Walker is who you think. That's who I think he's alluding to as well, correct?
Yes,
Okay, cool. So, do you think that it can like includes a pitcher by any chance? Because I know the Yankees are now in talks with potentially a Walker Bueller. They always have liked Blake Snell. I'm not
that'd be
saying they're going to
great.
get Blake Snell. What?
Uh, Walker Buehler would be good.
Okay,
Uh, is Corbin Burns a free agent?
he is a free agent.
Oh, that would be also great, but you probably need to pay him a lot of money.
Zach shaking his head. Wait, hold on. No, Zach's disagreeing with you. Zach shaking his head.
Like I'm just saying who I would want. I'm not like saying we're gonna get him.
Oh, okay.
I
Okay. I'm
want him.
just saying.
I would like Corbin Burns. If the Yankees listen, I think the Yankees need to really do what the Dodgers did last offseason and just say, hey, through the league, we're gonna sign Juan Soto, and then they just need to make a bunch of additions. They need to get Walker. They need to go uh get a pitcher. They need to stack the team. Dodgers
Actually,
went crazy and stacked their team, and they won the World Series.
can I cut you off for a second, Johnny?
Yes,
Do you have a light that you can put on your face? Because
sorry,
you're just okay. Because you're just like in the shadows.
sorry, I'm sorry,
Okay, thank you, Batman. Thank you. Okay,
sorry.
continue.
But yeah, where was I before
I
you
don't
interrupted me?
know. I don't know.
Yeah,
You were in
they need.
Gotham.
Yeah, so I think the Yankees, like especially, I as a Yankees fan, Deej, I'm sure you feel the same way. I'm still very upset about the results of this year, and I really want them to just like
Oh,
really
absolutely. Yeah.
just absolutely buy in and just get a bunch of guys and just really go on a revenge tour because it's
Zach's shaking his head again, and he just rolled his eyes.
Dude, like I don't understand why you call me out on this every single time. But look, I I can't say it's not possible, and I can't say that they won't because they very much could and will. And if they do, we could look back on this too and we could laugh. But I don't know. I feel like obviously it starts with Soto for the Yankees. And if they don't get Soto, there's just no plan B. There's no plan B for them. That's it. That's pretty much it. It's Soto or bust, really. In
Well,
my eyes, if you don't get Soto back, you're not running it back all in to go to the World Series again. You're
I
well,
not.
don't think that's necessarily true, but
the Yankees they
How
do.
so? How so is that not true? If they don't get Soto,
let Deej go before you.
No, he's talking to you though.
yeah. How so? How is it not true?
It's not necessary. They it's not they're not just like not out of it. If they add a bunch of pieces, they could still be a good team. They won't be nearly as good of a team without Soto, but
That's what I'm trying to say. Like It's
Okay,
Juan Soto
my
or
bad there.
bust. It's Juan Soto or bust, pretty much, in my eyes. If you don't get Juan Soto, there's no plan B. And that could be comparable to my team, but I we never had Soto. So us going after Soto, sure. That would mean a lot to me. That would mean a lot to the team. Adding a bat like that to the team would be fantastic. But if the Mets don't get Soto, the Mets have a plan B. If the Yankees don't get Soto, there is no plan B. They're not
Okay,
making it as
no,
far.
that's just incorrect. The Yankees,
No,
that
no,
is incorrect.
it's correct.
The Yankees, there's no okay. First off, in my eyes, there is no World Series without Juan Soto, but
Okay,
they 100% have a plan B.
they don't.
Saying they
Yes,
do.
they
They
do.
don't.
Okay, this is where like you not being a Yankees fan like screws you over because me and Johnny follow Yankees people and the Yankees do have a plan B in place if they don't get Juan Soto. And that plan B includes not saying they're getting everyone, but like the names on the list are guys like Corbin Burns, Bregman, possibly Blake Snell,
Oscar
Freed,
Hernandez.
Teoscar, Santander. Like they have lists for a plan B. Their plan A is obviously Soto, but if they don't get Soto, they're going to pivot to those guys. Now, those guys obviously are not as good as Soto. So that's why I think that it's Soto or bust in my eyes as well. They need Soto to make the World Series, but they 100% have a plan B. Every team has a plan B. The New York Yankees of all teams have a plan B. You're shaking your head as if I'm wrong. I'm literally not wrong. That is facts. They have a plan B.
I don't know. I don't know. I guess they're rumored to get all these guys, right? But like I'm telling you right now, and again, you just agreed with me. That's what I'm trying to say. And
Yeah,
you're
but
overthinking what I'm trying
I'm
to
not.
say.
I'm not. You're
I'm
saying
tr
there's no plan B. They have a plan B.
Well, there's no plan B that at least that takes them to the World Series. That's what I'm trying to say. There is so in theory, yes, they could pivot to all these guys, but in theory, there is really no plan B. There's no plan B that is going to take them to the World Series again if they don't get Soto. Soto is the most important piece. And if you don't get Soto, your off season's a fail. And you can't argue with me on that.
That's not.
It,
So you're saying if Soto signs
It's a
with a team
fail.
tomorrow, that's not the Yankees this season. The offseason's already filled.
If the if the if Soto
The
goes if
That's not
Soto
true.
goes to a different team, it's a fail.
So
if the Yankees replace Soto with Corbin Burns, Alex Bregman, Teoscar Hernandez,
You know that's
Max
not
Fried,
gonna happen
I'm
though.
just saying, Zach, is that a
You know
fail?
that I mean you could do the what if game. Yeah, sure, you could
But I'm
play
just
that game. But I'm saying you
you were
can't say
just play,
like this guy and
you were
this guy
just pl you
and
were
we
just
get this
playing the what
guy
if.
and we get this guy. Oh, he's gonna
I didn't just name
no.
random people. I named their plan B. I told you their plan B.
It's not a good plan B. I'm just saying.
So so the best free agents available other than Juan Soto is not a good plan B. So
They're
Corbin
not gonna
Burns.
get you know they're not gonna you know the Yankees more than I do. They're not gonna do those moves. They're not gonna do all those moves.
So
They're not gonna go
Corbin Burns.
all in if they don't get Juan Soto.
If a team signed Corbin Burns, Bregman, and let's say Teoscar Hernandez, that's a failure of an offseason.
You know the Yankees won't do that. I know the Yankees
I
won't do
didn't
that.
say the Yankees. I just said if a team signed them, that's a failure of an offseason.
That's not what we're talking about, though.
But
I'm not talking about if a random team signs those three players.
I just asked if a team signed those though. Was that a failure of an offseason?
No, obviously not. But no team is going to sign all three of those too for
Well,
starters. For starters. And if I'm
I
wrong, and
mean,
if one team signs all three, hallelujah.
I
But
mean,
that's not going to happen.
those are three very likely candidates for the Los Angeles Dodgers.
I don't think so. Corbin Burns, I could see. Corbin Burns, I could see.
Why wouldn't they bring Teoscar back?
Teoscar, I could see.
Who's their
But
third
you said
baseman?
Bregman.
Yeah, who's their third baseman?
They're not getting Bregman. Do you know what Bregman wants?
Who's their third baseman?
Answer that first. I asked you that first.
Who's their third baseman, Zach?
I don't know. You could place anybody there, really. Max Muncy.
So we're
I
gonna
don't
put
know.
Max Muncy or like a Kike Hernandez over Alex Bregman.
I'm not saying that. No, but Alex Bregman. Do you know? First of all, do you know the contract he wants?
Yeah, and do you know who the
Do you
Los
know? No,
Angeles
no,
Dodgers
no,
are?
no. Answer,
Yeah,
answer the what
I
contract?
I
What
do.
contract does he
It's
want?
like upwards of 30 million a year. I'm aware.
for
And
11 years.
do you know who the Los Angeles? Yeah, it's
For
like
11 years.
it's more
Any
than Manny
first of all,
Machado.
anybody that makes that move for Bregman is flat out dumb. Just flat out dumb. 11 years for that guy. No.
Okay,
No.
he's not
How old
getting
is he
11
now?
years. He's not
How
getting
old is he
11
now?
years. I don't know. I don't keep track of birthdays.
I'm gonna look it up. I'm gonna do some detective stuff because that's a terrible contract, and I don't think the Dodgers are going to do that. No team is getting all three of those. We're
I
getting
really
off
think
track of
that
this.
I really think Bregman's going to be an Astro. I don't think he's going to sign with anybody.
I don't think so. I can see him going to the Tigers or something.
The
I don't see him in
Tigers,
pinstripes.
Yeah.
he could be.
They have money. They have money to spend. Reunite with AJ Hinch. They just made a deep post or somewhat deep postseason run. They want to add some power to that team. Yeah, I could see him going to the Tigers. They need a third baseman.
I don't think he's a sign. I don't think he's signing though an 11-year contract though. Can you at least agree with me on that? Because
Yeah,
he's 30
his
years old. Nobody's gonna want to have him until he's 41.
his agent is Scott Boras. Everything that comes out of Scott Boras's mouth is a lie.
Yeah,
It's
so
just not true.
nobody's gonna want to sign him for till he's 41. Nobody.
Yeah, but
Um,
that's not no one. Continue.
what? Well, they're paying for his years
No,
31, 32,
no,
33 season. Is
no,
that what you're trying to tell me?
no. That's not even what I was gonna
Not
say.
gonna be a good contract in the
No,
long
it's
run.
just I think you're looking too far into the 11 years aspect when like that's just not gonna happen. Like that's just Scott Boras like starting high as you
Yeah,
always should. I think you're looking too deep into that.
maybe I am. Again, we shouldn't go off track of what the topic actually is.
Yeah, no, you already derailed it, so we might as well just go to the next one. Actually, that's perfect. The next segment is
Okay.
free. The next season. Sorry, Johnny. I really would have liked to give you a better interview,
All
but
right, man.
it's sorry. Things happen on the DYKB pod.
Oh yeah,
Zach's aware of that a lot, right? Zach?
Yeah, things really do happen.
Things happen, man. Things happen. Now we're just gonna talk about. All right. Long story short, real quick. Johnny, is Soto gonna be a Yankee?
I
You
believe so.
you think
I
so?
like. I really think. Listen, in the grand scheme of things, regardless of how he played in the postseason, you played with Aaron Judge, and it's not a coincidence that you had the best offensive season of your life. You're going to see better pitches because no one wants to pitch to Judge either. So that's like, I really think that he had a great time in New York. Every time I saw him play, especially when I went to the game, she looked so happy to be there.
Mhm.
Him and Judge's chemistry looks amazing, and he just seems like if I'm Hal, he's literally everything I want out of the guy. He plays well, he's competitive, he's a winner. So I really think that we will end up getting one Soto.
Zach looks like he wants to say something.
Well, you always again, you always do this, but the only other thing to mention, and it doesn't relate to Yankees, so it's not worth mentioning, which I wasn't going to. So you brought this upon yourself because now I'm going to mention it because you call on me and this is what you like to do. But I'm just saying
I didn't call on you. I just stated
I feel
something
like it's going to
obvious.
be I feel like it's going to be really hard on some other teams to get Soto. And again, I'm not doing this to try to be Mets bias at all. I'm really not. I'm really not. But how it just depends on where he wants to go really at this point because whatever contract is offered, I don't know if you saw this earlier this week, but I did. Any contract that is offered to Soto, the Mets are willing to go 50 plus million over.
And Hal Steinbrenner said that he's willing to go. He's
Mhm.
willing to battle
I
with
don't think Hal
Steve
Steinbrenner is
Cohen.
gonna compete with Steve Cohen. I don't.
I think he is.
Can I ask?
Money
I agree
wise.
with Johnny. I do agree with Johnny because Steinbrenner has been saying some crazy ballsy quotes that he has never said ever.
Ever.
Right? Like this guy flat out said, "We're the New York Yankees. We can get whoever we want." He has never ever said anything like that before, ever. So I think how Steinbrenner is willing to go tit for tat with Steve Cohen if Steve Cohen really wants to throw a shit ton of money at Juan Soto. How Steinbrenner is going to be there, and he knows what's at stake here. Um,
If that happens, it'd be really fun to watch, to tell you the honest truth. But
Not really. No, that's not really fun to me.
It's gonna be fun to watch. It's gonna
Not
be fun to
really.
watch because you know what? Steve Cohen's not gonna back down, and he already reported to want to go 50 plus million dollars over whatever offers offered to Soto.
Yeah, I asked,
That's insane.
what's the source? I saw the tweet, but I don't remember who was the source on that.
I don't remember the exact source.
I have to
I
look it up
think
now.
maybe Bob Nightingale, but I don't know. I know BR Walkoff um tweeted it, but they're I guess they're reliable, but I don't remember the exact person that tweeted that the Mets are. You know what? I might have it in my bookmarks. If I remember correctly, I think I have it in my bookmarks on Twitter because I don't know. I think yeah. Well, this doesn't really help me, but they are followed by Michael K said it, I think.
Oh, so it's not a real source.
Michael
That's
K
my
said it.
that's Michael K speculating. That's not a real source. So it's not even real. Michael K doesn't know what he's talking about sometimes. And I can say that as a Yankee fan. Yeah, so it's not an actual source. Cool.
It's an actual source.
No, it's not. Michael K speculates.
It wasn't I don't think it was just Michael K though, too. I think it was a bunch of other people too that tweeted that the
Yeah,
Mets are willing to go 50 million over.
because they heard Michael K say it and then just echoed him.
Whatever. Whatever. But I I think Cohen's gonna go balls to the walls.
I agree, and
And
I think Hal Steinbrenner will as well.
it's just gonna be really at that point I think it's really just gonna be a preference of where he would rather play. Um and if you're looking at the hindsight of it, if Steinbrenner stays true to his word and brings in other guys besides Soto, then sure, he's probably gonna go back to the Yankees. But
What's all right? So you're in a room with Juan Soto right now.
mhm.
Uncle Stevie whispers in your ear, Zach, I gotta take a massive dump. I need you to do this meeting for me. What is your pitch to Juan Soto to join the Mets
Well,
right now? Right now. Pretend Johnny's Juan Soto. I'm the moderator. Johnny's Juan Soto. Johnny, you pretend to be Soto. Zach,
we are
you're
not doing this right now. I
we're doing it. What's
straight
your
up the straight
pitch?
up my pitch will get they're gonna give him any money that he wants,
Why are you
right?
talking?
For
Soto,
That's
starters.
Soto's right
not
there. Tell Soto.
that's
He's
not a
I'm
right
good.
not
there. Soto's
I'm
right here. Tell him that.
I'm not doing it like that. I'm not
Do
doing it
it.
like that. They are going to give him
Do
any money
it.
that he
All right.
wants.
Soto just walked out the door because you're not talking directly to him.
All right, go to the next topic because you're
Soto
making me mad.
Soto
Can we do the
walks.
next
Because
topic?
you're
Is
making
this
me mad now. You're making me mad now. Go to the next
I
topic.
just wanted to hear your pitch to Soto.
They're gonna offer him 14 years,
Why
14 to
why are you
15
talking in
years.
like third person, bro?
Because
Soto's right there.
I'm not doing it like an interview type thing with
Just
fake
talk
Juan
to
Soto over there.
Soto.
I'm
Just
not
what are
doing
you
I'm
looking
that.
at?
I'm not fucking doing that. That's
what's your
weird.
pitch to Soto?
Nobody is doing it. My pitch to Soto is we have a lot of
You just
young.
lost Juan Soto. Congrats.
Go to
You
the next
just
topic.
you just
Go to
lost
the next
Juan
topic.
Soto because you
Go
wanted.
to the next topic.
I'm gonna go to the next topic because I want to go to the next topic, not because you told me to do so.
Okay, you do that.
Okay, cool.
You do that.
Okay. Let's talk. Oh, well, we kind of have been doing this the whole time though. So we're gonna talk about some more MLB free agency rumors. So let's start with Juan Soto. Zach, give us your pitch for Juan Soto going to the Mets.
Oh my God. Dude, you're
Are we not talking about
unbelievable.
the?
I'm not. I'm Matthew.
Unbelievable. First of all, I don't know. I don't know where to even start with this. I don't do this type of thing. But for
All
starters,
right.
the Mets are a team that now want to win. They want to win. They
So
saw what they had. They worked. They found
As are the Yankees.
the
mm,
Yankees have been winning for like the past 20 billion years, but I'm glad the Mets just decided that they realize they want to win.
we're- no, the Mets are finally in a spot, in a good spot, with a good owner, with a good GM, with a good manager and good talent around them. A lot of young talent, a lot of good young talent. Acuna, Mauricio, Jet Williams in the back burners. Um, why is that funny?
Okay, so your pitch is so
Why
you're
is that
not
funny?
I just think it's funny you pitch like Acuna and Jet Williams like more like unproven guys as opposed to like the freaking reigning runner up for MVP
All right,
Francisco
if you're
Lindor.
gonna if you're oh my God, oh my God,
That's an interesting strategy, but
oh my
I don't
God,
I mean
oh my
it's your
God,
pitch. It's your pitch.
oh my God.
It's your pitch. It's you can do whatever you want.
I'm pitching also the future.
Okay.
Okay. Yes, yes, those guys. Yes, of course, Juan Soto is going to want to come to the Mets to play with Francisco Lindor. Who doesn't?
Well,
Francisco Lindor is a dog.
everyone wants to play with Jet Williams too, though. Yeah, I want to play with Jet Williams.
Jet Williams is a part of our future. We have a bright future. I'm telling
I
you.
know.
But regardless, oh my God. You just really anger me. You do things to piss me off.
I don't. I
And
just asked you to
and
make your
how
pitch.
wouldn't it, wait. How wouldn't mentioning our young guys in our future be not be a part of pitch? Go ahead.
Well, I didn't say. I just thought it was a bold strategy to mention that before, like Francisco Lindor.
I wasn't doing it like to mention it before him. I
Well,
was doing it
you
just to
did
mention
though.
everything. I
Okay.
didn't do it in order. I'm not a person that does this kind of thing. I
Can I
don't
can I be
pitch.
can I be honest about
That's
you
what
though?
happens. I don't
Is
pitch to people. I
is
don't.
is is Jet Williams the deciding factor though into like would Juan Soto go to the
Why are
Mets?
you trying to make it like that?
I'm just
Chet
asking a
Williams is not
question.
the deciding factor. No, he's not. No,
I was
but
just
there's
I
a
was just
lot of
curious.
good young talent, including all the prospects that we have. Acuna showed a lot of good talent last year, and also
What
unproven. He
what
showed a
what
lot of good signs last year
what
when he played in
classifies
that short amount of time in the regular
what
season.
what classifies a good prospect in your eyes?
Ooh,
Are you just like? I feel like you're just doing things to to mess
No,
with me
because
right now.
I don't think the Mets farm system as good as you think it
I'm
is.
not. Dude, you're trying to spin this into a lot more than it is, and you're just trying to do it to get a reaction out of me. It's not gonna work.
I'm
It's not
really
gonna work.
not.
We're not talking about the Mets farm system. I'm talking about some some.
You just pitched
We
their
are talking
great
about.
farm. You just
Mm.
pitched their farm system to Soto.
Oh my God. It's their farm. It's not their farm system. Some of their young guys, some
Oh,
of their
it's
young
not their
talent.
farm system.
It's
Okay.
some of their young talent in the
So
future.
we have two
Listen to
good
me.
prospects.
Listen
We
to
have two
me.
good prospects you could play with. Okay, cool.
All right, go to the next free agent. I'm done with you. I'm really done with you. I'm really
Let's see.
done with you. We're not talking about
are we
Soto
not?
anymore.
Are we?
We're moving on to Corbin Burns. Johnny, where do you think Corbin Burns is going?
I wanted to hear the
Where
pitch.
I think he's going and where I want him to go are obviously two different things. I wouldn't be surprised if he resigns with the Orioles. Uh, but uh, I don't know. I'm not really great at predicting where guys are gonna go. Um, yeah, I wouldn't. I want to see him go to the Yankees, obviously. Uh, but I wouldn't be surprised if he signs with the Orioles or some team that needs pitching. Can't name it off the top of my head, but
That was a lot for
Dodgers.
nothing.
Dodgers are definitely a team that need pitching. But Deech, who do you think the is gonna get Corbin Burns?
Well, what's your pitch to Corbin Burns?
We're not doing this.
No,
We're not
okay.
doing this.
No. I think he's gonna be back to the Orioles. I think it makes too much sense. They have new owners. He had a great season for them. They'll sign him back. I don't. I could see them. I could see him going to the Dodgers, but I think they're gonna be focused on guys like Teoscar, Roki Sasaki. I think they're gonna be more focused along that line, and I think they want to try and save as much money as possible. Um, to not send a super contract to Corbin Burns' way. So I think the Orioles makes the most sense for Corbin Burns.
Yeah. In terms of Corbin Burns, I think. Obviously, the Orioles are up there, and in return, the Orioles. Why not? Why wouldn't the Orioles want him back? He did really phenomenal for them last year. They have a good young team that just needs to keep grinding, and they're going to keep making the playoffs year in and year out. It's just a matter of the experience that they get and the knowledge they take into each season. Um, I could see him going back to the Orioles. The Dodgers is another team that he's rumored to go to. Um, and I think that's just solely because obviously for the main factor, the Dodgers need pitching, but I don't think they're going to get Burns only because I full-heartedly believe that Roki Sasaki is going to be a Dodger, so they're not going to need Corbin Burns. So that's why I don't think that they're gonna end up landing him. But you just gloss over this too. The Mets are definitely a top option for Corbin Burns.
All right, so
Um,
what's your pitch to Corbin Burns, Zach?
we're not doing this. We're not. We'll stop with the pitches.
I'm just
We're not.
curious.
We're not doing the pitches. We're not
I'm
doing
just
the pitches.
curious.
I'm telling you right now, Corbin Burns and the Mets. makes sense. It makes sense. Stearns already said that they need starting pitching. They're going to prioritize starting pitching. They didn't have an ace all of last year, and to pair Corbin Burns with Kodai Senga, and then have maybe get back Minaya and throw in a maybe Bueller maybe in there, maybe it would make a lot of sense to completely revamp that rotation.
So,
Do not question me on this. Do not, because I have a feeling I know what you're gonna say. Go ahead. No, no, say it. Say it. Say it.
no,
Go ahead.
no,
No, no,
it's
no,
okay.
go ahead. Say it.
It's okay. Next, let's go to the next free agent.
Blake Snell. Blake
Okay,
Snell.
Johnny, what do you
Where do
think?
you think? What do you think, Johnny?
God. Uh, Dodgers,
No,
Dodgers.
Rangers. I don't
no,
know. I
no,
honestly really don't know.
no
I suck at
reasoning.
predicting free agencies. I really don't. Whoever needs
I,
pitching.
I'm glad we brought you on to the pod today, Johnny.
I thought we were gonna talk about something else, and I don't see it on the thing anymore, and I'm kind of sad.
What is it? The one we deleted?
Yes.
You know, we'll throw that in at the end. That'll be the bonus topic. How about that? Because Johnny wants to rejuvenate his love for the game. How about that? You know what? Actually, see this bottom topic? I'm gonna delete it and we're gonna replace it. How about that? Because Zach didn't know
Okay.
what this was either. Am I wrong?
Well, until I looked it up, no, I didn't hear about it. Um,
Okay, there you go.
Snell. Let's get back on track. Snell.
Boston Red Sox, and I will tell you why. They were heavily in on Jordan Montgomery. They didn't get him. They have money to spend. They want to rebuild this contender. They have a very solid plan with a shit ton of money and a bunch of good young guys, because that's what a good young farm system is. Take notes, Zach. They add
Go ahead, continue. Continue.
they add Blake Snell, a proven pitcher, two-time Cy Young to that. I could totally see it happening, and I think they're going to throw him a bag, and I think that's what Blake Snell wants. If the Mariners throw him something, because I remember our good
I
buddy Chris,
can't. I'm on the pod.
your your Mike. Anyways, if the Mariners, if the Mariners throw him something, because he's from Washington. Even though they're not rumored to get him or
Hold on, hold on,
anything,
hold on.
I could,
What the
yeah,
fuck?
we can hear you. What do you,
Oh
all right,
wait.
Giants, it's me and you now. It's just me and you. It's me and you, man. Max Fried, what do you think?
He was re-signing with Atlanta. He's a Brave
You
for
think?
life, I feel like.
Okay. Zach, are you ready?
Yeah, I'm sorry.
Okay.
I'm sorry. Outside sources.
Okay.
Outside sources. I think Blake Snell will definitely be a Boston Red Sox too. I think it's very evident that they have very interest really interested in this guy. Again, he's a proven talent. He's a two-time Cy Young Award winner. I don't see really any reason why they wouldn't go after him. They need pitching too. Um, and they need to make certain guys uh just like really just lengthen out that rotation. So I think he makes the most sense to land with the Red Sox. Obviously, he's not going. I don't think he's going back to the Giants. That's just the team that he was paired with.
Yeah.
For rumors. And the Dodgers are always going to be on this list until a deal is finalized with Sasaki. Because the Dodgers need pitching. And we're probably going to see them make some pitching moves. Somebody's going to a big name free agent is going to sign with the Dodgers for pitching wise. And then I I don't see him. I know the Mets are on there and I pulled this from an MLB.com, I believe, wrote an article, and that's where I pulled all these rumored teams from. Um, I don't think the Mets are going to get him. Yankees, I could see getting him. Um, it'd be a good arm to add to the rotation. But yeah, no, Red Sox are for sure the favorite. And then just rolling this into the next free agent starting pitcher, Max Fried. Um, Johnny, where do you think Max Fried's gonna end up?
I said the Braves.
You think he's gonna go back to the Braves?
Yes.
I think the Braves are pretty much done with Max Fried.
Oh,
I think they're
well,
they're parting ways pretty much. Um, a team I can see Max Fried on the most out of this list, especially, I think the Texas Rangers are very high favorite to get Max Fried. I don't know. Deej, what do you think?
Yeah, Max Fried's a tricky one. I don't think that he's going back to the Braves. I think they're very they've made it very clear that they're willing to let these fan favorites and great players go. I mean, you've seen it with Dansby and Freddie Freeman, more specifically. So I don't think that Fried will be back with the Braves. The Blue Jays have been getting a lot of hype lately. But I could also see the Rangers because they're probably going to lose Evaldi. Max Scherzer's washed. You could get Fried in there, maybe jump back to contention, take control of the West. I could see the Giants possibly going after him too to replace Snell. So I don't have an honest to God guess on Fried, but I could see any of those teams. So it'll be a fun battle to see who makes the best pitch for Max Fried.
Yep. And then the last guy on our list, Walker Bueller. He's rumored to go to either the Braves, the Cubs, or the Mets. Those are the three teams that are really he's really heavily rumored with. I again, like I said earlier, with the Mets situation, I would love to make. I don't think Walker Bueller would be good for the Mets if we're making him a one or a two in the rotation. If we're making him a three or a four, that would be the best case for the Mets. I think he needs to be if we do sign him, he has to be pretty much a depth rotation piece signing because he's just not at the 1-2 anymore. Like the ace caliber um
Mhm. Yeah.
type player anymore. So I think if the Mets do get him, they will have probably already signed a big name free agent pitcher. Um if they don't, maybe Walker Bueller does sign with the Mets and but I just don't see it being beneficial to them if they're trying to make him a one or a two. But the Cubs, I don't know. I don't know. I could see that. I mean, to pair him with Imanaga and some of the other pieces in that rotation, um, I could see it. But also, honestly, getting I know Walker Bueller's not the biggest name in this free agent starting pitching roster. But in the Cubs case, I don't know if it's going to make sense for the Cubs, only because they did announce earlier this week. I don't know why we didn't put it on the doc.
Yeah, I was thinking about it.
Yeah,
I was just actually just looking at tweets about it.
so that's
But
why I don't think it really makes sense if they're going to be buyers if they're going to go after free agents like Walker Bueller. If they're likely to trade Cody Bellinger. So I don't really
yeah,
think it's going to make too much sense with the Chicago Cubs. The Braves I could definitely see because they're gonna look to replace Max Fried in every which way they possibly can, and they get back Strider too for this season. So I think they're gonna do the best they can. And like I said, the Braves and Max Fried are pretty much done. They're parting ways. They don't want anything to do with each other at the moment. Max Fried's going to go to a different team. I feel like that's really been established in the early moments of this offseason. But yeah, that's really. Where do you think Walker Bueller's going to land, Matt?
the New York Yankees.
Really? How
Yeah,
so?
I
Why?
because I've been seeing I don't know about Johnny, my fellow very knowledgeable Yankee fan. I don't know if you've been seeing it, but that's all the reports I've been seeing from a Yankee perspective, I guess. They have mutual interest in teaming up. If it was just the Yankees were interested, I would be like, okay, that's interesting, but they have mutual interest. I think that the Yankees are gonna try and shed guys like Stroman in any way possible to get a team to maybe bite on that contract. I could see Nestor possibly also getting moved to some degree this offseason in a trade. And I think Walker Bueller would be a really cheap option for like a 1 year guy. And I think it would just make sense for the Yankees. So I'm gonna hold out some faith and just say Walker Bueller. It's a low risk, high reward signing. if it can get it done, if they can get it done. And I honestly feel like it's going to come down to whatever team Walker Buehler just wants to go to more because I think all the contracts are going to be relatively the same thing. So the Yankees.
Johnny, what do you think Walker
I
Buehler's gonna
agree.
go to? Yankees?
Oh yeah,
Okay.
Smart man.
All right, smart.
Johnny's really, we should have him on the pod more. Johnny, why don't you come on the pod more?
I'd love to.
Oh, you would?
I can
Okay.
find the time.
Oh,
Send me the invite whenever. I'll see if I can take it.
Okay. Johnny, we're gonna try to revamp your love here
this is
real
for
quick.
you. This is all
This
for
is for
you.
you.
This is the
Um,
Johnny pod.
Johnny Rodgers.
Johnny Rodgers.
Johnny Rodgers. Johnny, why don't you get into a little bit of Aaron Rodgers?
So
Some
there
Aaron
was a
Rodgers
thing on
talk.
here. I actually didn't know about this until today. Uh, Deej and you had both said that Roger said wants to play another year, not with the Jets next year. Is that correct on what you guys said?
That is correct. That was
So
what
it just,
was reported.
it just like struck something in me going a little rant. It's just I've been wrong twice about quarterbacks. One got traded, one was a free agent. I've been wrong. I thought this was going to work. I thought that he was going to have a one last good year with the Jets and they were going to make a really strong push. And I thought they all had the weapons, they all had the players necessary to do that. And it's really fascinating to see that not work. But it just really goes to show you it's clearly a coaching problem. Uh, I don't ever really believe on firing a coach in the middle of the year. It's not something you should do because they have a whole play. You can't just you're having a guy. "Oh, okay, yeah, go coach the team. We just fired this guy." But yeah, and then after not only that, after Devontae came, I was like, "Oh, okay, this is going to be a game changer," and it hasn't been. So with that, what team is going to sign Aaron Rodgers after not playing well with guys that are good? You had Garrett Wilson, you had Brees Hall before even Devontae Adams came. If you were to tell me that they were going to be, what are they, 2-7,
They're 3 and
three and something?
8.
Yeah,
Three
three
and
and
eight.
eight. I would
Yep.
be wow. But it's just like, yeah,
It's a
fascinating.
rough situation for the Jets. A team that I don't know, Matt, if you remember, we predicted them to be a 11-7 or 11-6.
Yeah, that was so stupid, and I told you it was stupid. I didn't like it,
Well, at
but
the
we
bare
did.
minimum, I think the we both thought that the Jets would be in the playoffs or in the
Sure.
playoff hunt.
Sure,
But
this was supposed to be their brightest year in a while, and unfortunately, it's not looking like it, so.
yeah, and in terms of Aaron Rodgers, I think another thing that Johnny, I don't know if you mentioned or not, but the Jets are pretty much benching him or like putting him on the IR for the
Yeah.
rest of the season. That's their plan. Um, because the season's already over for the Jets.
You got to think about, are we going to keep this guy, which he probably shouldn't. He was what, 40 something almost?
Yeah, well,
He's old.
I don't even know how
He's
old
very old.
he is.
Now you got to think, hey, time to get a fresh pair of legs and new arm. You got to get a new quarterback. There's too
Yeah,
much. There's too much talent on that team to just like to. You gotta figure it out.
yeah,
I
he's
believe the
40.
quarterback is.
He's 40 right now. He'll be 41 next year.
So I don't
Um,
think you know.
he's just not the Rodgers that was the Green Bay Rodgers. Like he's not that person anymore. And I think a lot of Jets fans put a lot of expectations on him and made it seem like he was going to be this saint, this guy that's going to take us all the way and bring us this ring that we've been craving for so many years now. And it didn't work out. It didn't work out, and he doesn't want to come back to the Jets. And I feel like that's a ballsy move on his part because I don't know what team would take him. I don't. I truthfully don't. There's going to be a team that wants Aaron Rodgers for sure, but that team is still yet to be heard of. The only I he might start next year for a team, but I could also see some team picking him up so that Roger picking him up for a year so that Rodgers could groom another quarterback for them. I don't know what team that may be, but maybe like
You know
Rodgers
what,
takes
Zach?
on a role to groom a younger quarterback.
I agree with you.
Do you
Really?
actually? You agree with me on my take about Rodgers?
Yes.
That might be the first time anyone has ever agreed with you on a football take.
It feels good. It really feels good. I think yeah, it deserves some applause.
Chuck,
Now, I don't know if
clap.
Rodgers is going to want to do that, but
I don't know if he would either, but you know what? That may have to be the role he accepts if he wants to continue playing in the NFL because he is not the same person he was once, and it showed this year. It showed. It really showed. It showed his weaknesses. He is not. He can't
Old.
mobile. He's not mobile anymore. He can't
yeah,
move in the pocket.
I really just don't. I just don't know who's going to want him.
I don't know. I
I
don't know
don't.
either. I don't know who he could possibly go to, and I don't know what team's really gonna want him to be a starter, to be their starter, to be their guy. And it just didn't work out with the Jets. And it happens. It happens. Um, I know.
Guys,
Yeah, good.
this is for Johnny. Is it worse to be a Cowboys fan or a Jets fan right now? Or a Giants fan? Which one is it worse? Rank them. One, two, three, from worst to least
Uh,
worst.
I'd say Jets fans just given the expectations. They were expected to be really good.
Okay.
Giants, you kind of knew what you were going to get with the Giants. And the Cowboys is kind of like, confusing. I don't really know what's wrong with them. Their defense just kind of fell off the face of the earth. But I'd say they're two. They're interchangeable. I mean, but it's the Jets are I think the Jets are the most surprising
Yeah,
shock. So that makes
for
it
sure.
the worst.
For sure. The Jets are definitely the most disappointing team in the NFL this year. Most disappointing with the talent they have on the roster, top to bottom. I don't know. I I thought that maybe we could have worked some playoff games this year. Maybe. But that's just not how the cookie crumbled for them. And it's time for them to move on from the Rodgers era. And it was short-lived, but this is just how it's got to be now. Just how it's got to be. Matt, what do you think about this whole Rodgers situation?
Yeah, it's really interesting how Rodgers kind of had all these high hopes and high expectations from these Jets fans, and now season has kind of gone absolute disaster, not how you wanted. We do have a Jets fan friend. We should bring him on one of these times. Just get him to talk about it. We
Yeah,
should. I think
maybe,
that maybe,
maybe.
but maybe at the end of the year we'll see. But no, I really thought that they were gonna be a lot better than they were. Obviously, Zach, as much as I didn't like our rankings originally, we just thought they were gonna make the playoffs, and it's so disappointing to see it because they have some nice young guys, and they brought people in that Rodgers liked. And where will Rodgers be next year? If that's on a team, if it's not for the Jets, I honestly don't know. I can't even speculate because I just don't know. It was also sudden. Like this news came out like hours before we started the pod, so didn't really have so much time to digest it. But I would like some Jets fans, whether it's TikTok, Instagram, or here on YouTube, if you're watching this, to give us your thoughts on Rodgers and if you think he's going to be going anywhere. And from that, we just kind of see. And that's really all I got to say on Rodgers.
Yeah. The Jets are in a rough situation. And especially going back to the last game they played, last weekend. A lot of Jets fans were walking out of the parking lot and they were saying pretty much to sell the team. You know, the Jets started off.
All right.
It started off with certain increments with them, but they fired head coach Robert Saleh, and then they just fired their GM after that game last weekend. And now Rodgers says he wants to play, but not with the Jets. So it's the beginning of something, a new chapter for the Jets. I don't know what that chapter will be. I don't know what guys will be on their roster, but it's the beginning of a new chapter for them. And we'll see what happens. They want to be playoff contenders. They want to make it to the mountaintop, but they're just not going to do it with Rodgers now. So it is what it is. Failed experiment. But with that being said, that wraps up episode 38 of the DYKB underscore pod. Um, thank you, Johnny, for joining us here.
Oh
I
yeah,
really
of course.
appreciate it.
We want
Thanks
more
for having
Johnny
me.
on pods.
We want Johnny back. I'm sure we'll get him back shortly because before you know it, I mean, in a few weeks after Thanksgiving's done, gets closer to Christmas, gets closer to playoff time for the NFL. So maybe we get you on
Yeah,
when that
those will be some
happens.
fun, some very fun conversations.
It will. It will definitely be. But that wraps up episode 38. Again, we appreciate all the love and support on YouTube and on TikTok. I know our YouTube just hit 190 subscribers. That's fantastic. We appreciate all the love and support. Keep doing your thing. And we will catch you guys in the next one.